2005, directed by Guy Ritchie and starring Jason Statham, is a psychological crime thriller that takes viewers on a mind-bending journey through deceit, manipulation, and self-discovery. The film explores deep themes of ego, power, and control, all wrapped within the framework of a gangster narrative. Jason Statham plays Jake Green, a gambler who has spent 7 years in prison, emerging with a new and highly unusual philosophy that he believes will bring him success in the criminal underworld. The story begins with Jake Green, a seasoned gambler and low-level thug, being released from prison. While incarcerated, Jake was in solitary confinement, sandwiched between two mysterious master criminals whose identities are never fully revealed. These two men imparted their knowledge of cons, manipulation, and game theory to Jake, teaching him a strategy that guarantees victory in any situation. After his release, Jake is focused on using this newfound wisdom to exact revenge on Dorothy Matcha, played by Ray Liotta, a powerful crime lord and casino owner who betrayed him and is responsible for his imprisonment. Jake confidently walks into Matcha's casino and humiliates him by winning large sums of money at the gaming tables. Enraged and embarrassed, Matcha orders a hit on Jake, but Jake's life takes an unexpected turn when two enigmatic loan sharks, Avi and Zach, appear and save him from the assassination attempt. They offer Jake protection and promise to take down Matcha in exchange for everything Jake owns, including all his money. Desperate and confused, Jake reluctantly agrees. From this point on, the film takes a dramatic shift into psychological territory. Avi and Zach begin to manipulate Jake, forcing him to follow their orders and undergo a series of increasingly bizarre and challenging tasks. As Jake works with them to bring down Matcha, it becomes clear that they are not ordinary criminals but are playing a deeper, more complex game. They are systematically dismantling Jake's ego and sense of self, making him question his beliefs, his motivations, and even his own mind. Throughout the film, Jake is haunted by his internal monologue, which represents his ego. This voice in his head constantly challenges and undermines him, creating intense inner conflict as he struggles to understand who is really in control. Avi and Zach's goal seems to be to free Jake from the grip of his own ego, but the process is torturous and confusing. Jake, believing he's playing a standard criminal game, begins to unravel mentally and emotionally, unsure of what is real and who he can trust. Meanwhile, Matcha is also spiraling into paranoia and madness. As Jake and his new allies close in on him, Matcha becomes increasingly desperate to maintain his power. He is portrayed as a man ruled by fear, with an inflated sense of self-worth, making reckless decisions as he loses control of his empire. The film portrays Matcha as the embodiment of unchecked ego, and his eventual downfall mirrors Jake's own internal battle. The plot reaches its climax when Jake faces his ultimate confrontation, not just with Matcha, but with himself. In a powerful and surreal sequence, Jake confronts his own ego, symbolized by the voice that has tormented him throughout the film. He comes to the realization that his greatest enemy has always been within him, not external forces like Matcha. Avi and Zach's mysterious teachings were never about money or power, but about freeing Jake from the illusions of his mind, about breaking the chains of ego and fear that have governed his life. In the end, Jake achieves a form of enlightenment, realizing that the key to winning the game was not to conquer others, but to conquer himself. Matcha, by contrast, is consumed by his ego and dies in a fit of self-destructive madness, illustrating the dangers of unchecked pride and delusion. The film's final scenes are deliberately ambiguous, leaving audiences to ponder whether Avi and Zach were real people, figments of Jake's imagination, or metaphysical representations of his struggle for self-awareness. It is a highly philosophical and complex film, filled with metaphors and symbolism that reflect on the nature of identity, control, and the destructive power of the ego. The narrative challenges conventional storytelling by blending elements of gangster films with psychological drama and existential exploration. Jason Statham's performance as Jake is a departure from his usual action hero roles, portraying a man who is physically tough but mentally vulnerable, battling forces much larger than himself. While was polarizing for audiences due to its non-linear storytelling and heavy philosophical themes, it has garnered a cult following over time, especially for its deep dive into the psychology of its characters. The film offers a unique blend of crime drama and introspective thought, with Jason Statham's character serving as a vessel for the exploration of inner conflict, transformation, and redemption. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notifications on our new videos.